welcome back to the Ordo Scriptorium, a TTRPG podcast where we dive into the spooky side of things. This show follows a group of investigators or authors hunting down supernatural phenomenon during the 1950s. They have already had one adventure to join them all together and have started a new one, hunting down what appears to be a demonic car that came out of one of the adventurers' past. It happens to be the monster that had awakened the supernatural senses in one of the characters, Elliot's. To last episode, we had a gunfight, a dynamite explosion, a Mexican standoff right in front of a Mexican restaurant. It was pretty exciting, and this game is picking up right where we left off. We have our character standing around out front. Preston is pointing a gun right at a gangster that may be involved in the supernatural, may not be. We're gonna find out and jump in there. But before we do, I'm, as always, grateful for all of the players here, and in no particular order, let's start with naming them off. Neil is playing Elliot. Say hi, Neil.
Hola.
Corey is playing Rex.
Hi.
Kayla is playing Bonnie. And, of course, Zach is playing the ever charismatic Preston.
Ever charismatic.
Are you guys ready for this exciting game to pick up where we left off? We had just gotten through the second investigation site. You guys had found that this Mexican food restaurant was actually a front for a chop shop that was in the back. You had gleaned some information and found that the chop shop was torn to pieces by a supernatural entity. The gangsters that held sway over the chop shop had just gotten rid of the car right after it had destroyed the place. On your way out, the car then possessed one of the servers within the restaurant, attacking you guys, harassing you guys. At the last minute, you walked outside. Elliot threw a stick of dynamite at the car. There was a little bit of a back and forth between Hot Potato with a stick of dynamite. Eventually landing on another car somewhere else, blew it up. There was chaos, pandemonium. You guys ready to jump back into that? I think the last moment, the gangster was like, "Hey, you guys get inside. We need to talk about this." Preston pulls his gun, says, No, we're going to walk away.
Yeah. Sure, I'm ready. As ready as I'll ever be to die.
Okay.
I know it's what the other players have been hoping for since the beginning of this character.
We're best friends. You can't die. Many more songs to sing together.
Saying that, I think, guarantees a death.
I was going to say, Preston's ripe for a murder. Preston just has the Schofield up, pointing it right back at the mobster's face. He is not going to take eyes off the mobster. He is instead going to speak to Elliot, Rex, and Bonnie and just say, "Slowly back towards my limo." And I'm just going to keep the gun up and be like, "We are going to be leaving now. You do not want this scene to become any more problematic than it already is for yourself or your patrons."
And who says you're okay to leave? Who says you got it in you to make it more problematic? I think I'm your problem right now.
I look at him and go, "My friend, I am coked out of my mind. I've been sleeping with prostitutes for a week. I don't have anyone who loves me. Try me, motherfucker. I will canoe your fucking skull."
And the car's getting away too.
I say to them, I respond to Elliot again, and just be like, "Guys, get in the limo."
Elliot goes at a normal pace.
Preston, roll a manipulation charisma check.
Oh, that's
I'm just going to set the difficulty at 5, honestly.
5. Okay, cool. I passed that automatically, just for the record.
Okay, yes, you do.
But I want to see if I get a point out of it. 17. I roll a 17, which brings my total up to... Let's see, manipulation's a 3, charisma is a 3. Brings my total score up to a 23, so I'm pretty sure I get a momentum point out of that.
You've earned yourself a momentum point. That was a fantastic line. This guy looks down at you. He sizes you up in this moment to determine the validity of how like crazy this man is. Turns out you're looking pretty crazy.
I am.
You see the gangsters look at you. He looks at your cohort. He looks around at the streets. You guys hear sirens off in the distance.
I want to add insult to it and just look at him, narrow the eyes, and be like, this would not be the first time I've gotten blood on this suit.
All right, rich boy. You get out of here. This isn't over. And hurry it up.
Yeah, I keep my gun trained on him as I back up towards the limo. I'm not going to put my gun down until he's fully in the restaurant.
Rex, Bonnie, are you guys doing anything?
Yeah, I'm getting in the limo.
Yeah, just your distant screaming, let's go!
All right. You guys like sort of make your way to the limo, Preston. I'm seeing you sort of backing towards the limo, gun never lowering.
Not until he walks back into the restaurant, because I'm not getting shot in the back today.
Right. Yeah. And so like as you get closer to the limo, he lowers his gun. He realizes that this is not the moment. There's a lot for him to deal with right now. And he just sort of stares at you with this very stoic, pissed off look.
I'm going to do a 1 salute with the barrel of my pistol and then put it in my coat and get into the limo and be like, drive! Oh my God, he almost killed me. Did you see that? He had a gun. He was going to shoot me. God, we almost had to live in a world without me. Oh, that would have been terrible. What would you guys have done without me? How would you get to places without my money?
I was about to say we would have to travel a lot longer. Yeah.
That would be a big inconvenience.
It'd be terrible. Oh, my God. Elliot wouldn't have a belt. It'd be terrible.
We'd stay in a lot worse places, too.
A lot worse. Like, I've seen what you make. A lot worse.
The driver does peel the hell out of there. And he's looking over his shoulder. He looks white as a ghost, and his voice trembles as he says, "Sir, where would you like me to go, sir?"
I'd pull the file out for the other three, and I'd be like, I believe this might help us in finding a location. I need to ask one thing, because I don't remember. What time was it?
Morning, I thought.
Yeah, was it morning?
It was morning when you guys got there. It was late morning. It just hit the lunch rush. So it's a little about noon. You guys
so like afternoonish. Okay. All right. So I was like, if we can find a quiet place to review this, maybe it'll give us some clues as to where to go to find some more information on this dastardly vehicle.
Do you want me to look it over while we're driving somewhere? Give it a quick once over.
Yeah, I hand it to Rex. The file to Rex.
I start flipping through it.
Okay. Rex. Is there any skill that you want to particularly employ here? Looks like you have Mythos.
I do have Mythos. Would that work?
I believe that would be effective. Mythos was the one that's basically centered around myths. So you could give that a try. You could also just do straight like a Mythos intelligence or just intelligence. You don't have necessarily like history, I believe.
Yeah.
Or
Mythos intelligence. Why not?
Do you have knowledge?
Nope.
Okay.
I didn't think this over.
I feel like I should.
Yeah, I was about to say, should I take the file back and give it to Bonnie? Just like
I
slowly.
rolled a 22.
Oh.
No.
Okay. You rolled a 22 with Mythos. So what you're going to get is a Mythos answer.
That's fine.
So as you look through this, all of the information in here seems pretty benign to most people. There's going to be a bill of sale. There's going to be records on it. You see a note of a special type of license that has been issued to this vehicle for race cars, which stands out to you because it's kind of interesting. This is all stuff that would be sort of, think a normal person would know. But if you're looking at this with the eye of mythos, an eye trained to understand the myths and lores and legends, you start to begin to see sort of a trend between the people that owned it, starting with James Dean. James Dean was a rebel without a cause, right? The last guy that owned it.
Sorry.
The last guy that owned it, the most recent guy, the movie studio executive, did all of these things, these movies about, fast cars and speed and being free. Vaguely that you were just dealing with like a chop shop and drag racers, and there's this mindset that's starting to come together. From your mythos, this is some kind of demonic force, and it probably preys on the instincts or the needs of people, and perhaps their need to be free. The freedom a fast car might give a young James Dean, or a chop shop, or a street racer, maybe even a movie starlet, that would maybe run over the man that jilted her love or was trying to control her. Something here is clicking for you, and you know that these things hunt a type. They have something that they're good at. And you're feeling like a demon is offering freedom of some kind to these people. It's offering them, at very least, the idea of freedom.
What was the difficulty of the roll?
Oh, yeah.
That would
I'm
be
max momentum anyways.
Never mind. He's max momentum. Don't give him shit.
Take it in spirit.
None of this tells us where our next investigation point is, though, I'm assuming.
For mythos, let me think.
Bonnie, get in there. Get in there, Bonnie. Bonnie, do some smarts. Do some smartening.
I'd close up the folder like, all right, so it's just kind of following people that are like kind of rebellious or want freedom in nature. That's really all I can get out of it, other than it being a car.
All right.
I feel like there's definitely more in this folder than that.
All right, Bonnie Carlton, you open it up, look it over. You see everything that he saw, but with a different eye. What different skill do you want to use to try and analyze this paperwork?
Hey, before she picks, I do want to really quickly ask, how are we sitting in the limo? Like, am I next to Elliot? Am I next to Rex? Am I across from Rex and Bonnie?
I would say, okay, if I was going to just throw it out there, Rex seemed like or Elliot was the first one in.
Okay.
So you were the last one in?
Yeah.
I feel like probably Bonnie was the second one in.
All right.
And then that was probably
all right.
Rex you're sitting next to.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Bonnie. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. Did I hear you say that we can use knowledge?
Yes.
Do a smart thing, girl.
Knowledge would be an
It's
excellent
awkward
one.
because I can actually look at her when I'm talking to her right now.
Oh, you're both in the basement. Oh, that's creepy.
We're both basement dwellers. I rolled a 17.
17. Okay.
What was the difficulty?
Difficulty is going to be 10.
You got a momentum out of that, Bonnie.
All right. So, different set of knowledge. Unlike a myth-focused knowledge, you're looking more at like a global, like you're drawing your expertise as just being a well-read person, having a good understanding of just things in general, and a little bit of being a librarian. a lot of this paperwork is exactly that. Paperwork. It has been filed. It is systematic. It is registered. And so you're going to see a different set of patterns outside of being like, myth focused. You're starting to see a gear towards where this thing had been, where it had come from. And something stands out to you. The racing license issued to this vehicle. James Dean was the first private owner of this vehicle, but he wasn't necessarily the first owner off the lot of this vehicle. It actually belonged to a company, a racing company that is situated just outside of LA. They appear to be the very first actual owners of this vehicle. After that, it moved like hands a bit, got transferred around between various entities very briefly, almost like it was just shuffled through paperwork, like a bank owned it and moved it around. But that very first location, the Silvercrest Raceway, was where it was registered as its the business's address, the racing company's address. So something's clicking here for you. This is the earliest point of this thing's origin. That's where things might be starting off. Yeah.
Driver, how far is Silvercrest Raceway?
That old place, I think it's maybe just outside of the city, a couple hours. It's been closed down for a little while now.
Oh, go ahead.
Is that somebody? Is that where you guys want to go? Mr. Howlett?
Yes, I believe that's where we're going next. Hopefully less Mexican gangsters there, right?
I show Preston the papers. James Dean wasn't the first person to own this car.
Interesting. So, who was the raceway itself? What's led you to the raceway?
It looks like the company that owned it dealt with that raceway.
If you're looking for the racing company, it is going to be the Walker Racing Company. Walk.
Well, the raceway is the best lead we have, I feel like. So we'll definitely head there. Though, I mean, either that or we could split up and look at the raceway and the Walker Company 2 and 2.
Well, I'm trying to think. The company was the one that owned the car, but it was raced on the raceway, we said, right?
Yeah. So Bonnie would have gleaned that like race cars are owned by companies, racing companies. The raceway is where the license was registered. So it was registered from that raceway so it could race. The Walker Company is the company that would race it against other cars.
So it's we're either gonna get information from the Walker Company itself, which I would have to make some calls to figure out where to find them, or the raceway, maybe an incident took place there or something like that we could glean information from. Or
well, if the raceway is closed, maybe we should try to just find information on the company.
But why
What
did
if
it
the company's
close?
closed?
Oh yeah, what if the company's closed? What if they're both closed?
Then we're shit out of luck.
I mean,
Then we just break into some
out of
places and
character,
stuff.
we don't have Google, so I don't know how to find the company. You know what I mean? Like, other than to go to a telephone bowl and look for a phone booth. I mean, we've got a detective in the car if he wants to take a stab at it.
Was there an address listed in any of this paperwork?
For the Walker.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That would
I was gonna say if they're low.
Well played. Well played.
Papers.
logical way to go. Yes, good move.
Absolutely. There's because it's a license, they're going to have to issue the addresses of the raceway and of the where the the Walker company is registered at. So yeah, you do see their addresses there.
There we go.
Okay. Well, in that case, we have an address for the Walker Company, and we have this closed speedway. What do you guys want to do? We can go to one, then the other, or we could split up and do both of them at the same time. Obviously, the car knows we're onto it and is actively trying to stop us. So there are pros and cons to both speed and staying together.
I'll only be any good if it shows up.
Hold on.
That's not true, my
Wiz.
friend. You were the one who uncovered all the clues in the warehouse. If we come across mechanical things, we will need your expertise.
Hey, Wiz. I want to use deduction. Is the raceway the correct place to go?
Well played.
Oh.
Well played.
Okay, correct place.
The place with the...
That is implying, though, that there is a wrong place to go.
Is it the
Yeah.
next
There's always a wrong
investigation
place to
site?
go.
Right, but my point is, if
We
they
could just
both
decide to
contain-
go get
if they both
fucking hot
contain
dogs. That would be the wrong place to
information-
go.
If they both contain information, then the question is unanswerable.
Yeah, but we only have one more investigation site.
Yeah.
There's
so
3
is the raceway the
investigation sites per
investigation
hunt.
site?
So which one is the investigation site? Is what he's asking.
Yeah. So you're asking if the raceway
Is the raceway the investigation site?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Then we should go to the
Score
raceway.
one. Score one. Rex is like, I deduce with my detective brain. We should go to the raceway, all of us together at all time. Okay. All right. With that, let's head to the raceway. I am going to lean into Rex, though, while we're driving there. Rex, you said you gleaned from this that this car promises freedom?
So, looking it over, everyone that has owned the car has always been kind of like a rebellious type, or just someone who like wants that freedom
Interesting.
to kind of break away from the norms. Because I mean, James Dean, we all know him.
Yes.
Kind of a rebel.
Yes, that's true. That's true. How does one summon the car? Did you figure that out with any of that? To make
Not
the
really.
deal in the first place?
I'd assume he just want freedom, and it might show up or something.
Okay. Food for thought.
Okay. You guys are headed out of town, out of 1950s LA, and into the country for a bit. The scenic view is beautiful. I believe most of you guys haven't really seen this part of the country before. Maybe Preston. He seems well-traveled and wealthy.
He's
But,
seen the hotels around here and the coke dens. That's what he's seen. I don't know how much sightseeing Preston does.
But as you guys travel, you look out. There's a beautiful ocean vista, like to your left as you travel north along the 101 highway, across green fields, and
What are you doing here? Okay. Nothing. I thought I might muted it. I didn't. Continue.
Oh.
You said the 101, and I just thought about this stupid sketch on SNL. That's all.
What's extra crazy is we cannot see you, so we have no context for what was even going on.
That's completely fine. That's that nobody can see me. I'm the ghost of games past.
So you guys go into the country, down some roads, and eventually, towards the later end of the afternoon, I'd say about right around 5 o'clock. Still plenty of light out. It's not night yet, but the sun is starting to sink, and the sky is growing a little bit more orange. You find yourselves at a gated-off facility. It's obviously the raceway behind there, but there's a chain-link fence surrounding it and a gate.
I'm gonna step out of the car, pull my lockpicks.
And you do so. The driver steps out of the car a little bit too, sort of half out, looks over you. Sir, I believe it's closed. Is there anything? Maybe there's someplace nice around here we can take you and your friends, Mr. Howlett.
Oh, definitely after this. What I need you to do right now is one of my favorite jobs. Sit in the car and pretend you don't see anything. And then I'm going to just walk up to the lock and start to go through my lock picks, find a good one for the padlock. I'm guessing it's a padlock on a chain.
It is.
Yeah, and go to work. What's the difficulty?
10.
Okay. All right. So that is, I'm assuming, is that agility?
Rogue. Yeah.
Yeah, rogue agility. So I got a +5. Oh my god, I missed it.
Ooh.
Hold on. What does luck do again? Is it just a
Notice,
reroll?
you know what I feel
I
like?
think it's a reroll, yeah.
I feel like noticing you failing, and now because the car has gotten away, Elliot's just like, don't worry about it, I got it, and give you absolutely no chance whatsoever to move, and pull out a wrench and start beating the padlock.
Okay.
All right.
I'm like, good god!
Yeah, this padlock just starts like inches away from your head. How there's just like clang, and metal just starts sparks fly off of this thing. Elliot, throw me an attack roll. That's going to be like your
Force and melee?
yes, exactly right.
Technically, because of was it Führer? I think it is. I get like this dumb bonus to attacks. Hold on.
He'd be quicker looking at this if he had his character sheet.
Hey!
Yeah, he would. He would, wouldn't he,
Other than
Rex?
the peanut
He
gallery.
would. He would. That character sheet that literally has to be in that room. Yeah. Crazy. Crazy.
Let's see, 7, 10. So I got a +12.
Cool.
25.
Oh my god.
Kerspoosh.
Yeah. All right. You know what? I'm just gonna say you snap that thing right off like that. Nothing. It's gone. You hit it a couple of times, and it just pops right out.
Gain of momentum.
Definitely gain momentum.
I think I maxed out, if I remember our previous discussion.
Oh, okay.
No, you are not. You need that momentum. This is probably you used momentums at the end of last game.
Oh, I may have used 2 momentum then, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So then at that point, I'm at 2 because I think I still had 1 remaining.
Yeah.
This sounds
Preston
correct.
Stands up, fixes himself, and goes, well, not really finesse, but gets the job done, I suppose.
He says, "After you, sir," just like gesturing in.
I'm not your boss. I mean, I'm not, am I? Do I employ you in some subsidiary that I don't know about? You're the mechanic.
Elliot
Investigate.
has already gone through the gate.
That's weird. I don't know why he said after me.
All right.
Confusing statement from the mechanic.
I assume everybody enters the property illegally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you walk up the driveway and start heading towards what's obviously a abandoned, at least appearingly to be an abandoned raceway. The grass is overgrown. The building seems to be in disrepair. There's trash kind of littered everywhere. The windows on the actual structures are boarded up. To your left is the raceway itself. Bleacher seats sort of surround what you can partially see through them as a large, huge track. Just beyond that and to the right a little bit of what you're looking at is kind of more of the building that would be associated with the raceway. That's where the offices might be for ticket sales and where you can tell like probably the cars were kept. There's portions of this building that sort of lead to the raceway and empty out on these big bay doors. So that would be a little bit more of an office area, whereas the raceway itself would be a little bit more off to your left. Where do you choose to go?
So do we think that we should go to the offices first, or...
I feel like we should go where they kept the cars.
Well, the mechanic should definitely go where they kept the cars. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely a good idea.
Yeah. That's where you will investigate.
Because that's about the only thing that I'd be useful when it comes to investigating stuff, at least.
Preston's going to hang back and let them investigate on this one.
What are the offices?
Okay. Rex and Elliot go to the office. Bonnie, what are you doing?
Oh, I thought Elliot was going to where the cars used to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Rex is going to the offices.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
Preston is hanging back and mulling over demon freedom.
Do you want demon freedom?
Hey, you guys are going to kill it anyway, then I get my soul back.
You have a lot of faith in us.
Yeah. Definitely.
I'll just attack it with birds. We'll be fine.
Exactly.
True.
I'll use it to kill my
like
mom. You then kill it. Everybody wins. Win-win. Win-win situation.
But wait. What if his seething hatred for his mom and his need to be free of her is what brings it?
I'm not going to lie to you guys, for the last 2 months, I've been like, because I didn't know what the transactional thing would be for the demon, but I've been like, we should just try to make a deal with this thing. And then it'll come out and we can kill it then. But then Wiz started describing to Rex everything that Preston wants in the world. He's like, problems.
Okay. So Bonnie, where are you going?
I feel like I'd be most useful in the office.
Okay, so you guys are heading to this building that's sort of half attached to the raceway. It's pretty clear that there's a ticket booth out in front and a pedestrian door that would lead into the building and where the offices were. But it's also kind of clear that there's more to this building than just the ticket booth and the offices. There's going to be the garage attached to it. It's not hard to just deduce this by looking at the structure. It's a big gray building with long bay doors towards the back and the ticket booth on the front. Where do you guys want to approach? When you're looking at it, there's a ticket booth right in front of you, a pedestrian door just to the right of it, and then bay doors leading to the raceway along the left side. As you guys walk, it's pretty obvious what you're looking at.
I'd go to the pedestrian door.
Okay. You head over to the pedestrian door. Just like everything here, it's in this building is in less than ideal conditions. The ticket booth is boarded up. You actually see wood covering much of the glass that was once there, if it's still there. You go and try the pedestrian door leading into the building, and it is locked.
How sturdy is it?
Roll a perception awareness.
It's going to be a 23.
Okay, so you're trying to figure out how hard this thing is to break in. It's an old door. It was probably sturdy at one time. Moderate right now. If we were going to be putting it on a scale of 1 to 20, I'd say it'd be about a 10.
I'm just going to look over and be like, hey, Elliot, can you come here for a sec?
Yeah, just kind of walks over, hands on his hips. Yeah, what's up?
You want to take this door down?
Yeah, sure. And then just boots it.
All right, roll listen, this would be an unarmed strength or force check. You're going to kick it in. Very manly style.
Exact same that I rolled last time, 25.
Take a momentum. You lean back and just stomp this door down. It actually breaks off of the hinges.
Oh my god.
The door frame shatters and splinters flying into this room as it thuds loudly, echoing throughout the room that you just stomped into.
Whoops.
Thank you very much. If you want to go to the garage, you can. I just needed this door open.
Sounds good. And I do head off on my own to the garage.
And I will enter the offices.
All right. Quick check-in. Bonnie, who are you going with? We got like 3 different directions here.
I know. I was gonna try to see if I can get into the ticket booth because sometimes there's important files in there.
Are you
But
worried there's a door that's going to impede your progress?
Just call Elliot. Just say his name 3 times. He shows up and kicks down doors.
yeah, I want to try to get into the ticket booth.
Okay, so just because of the orientation of the building, the door that was just unceremoniously stomped on is not far from it's just down the way from the ticket booth. That's going to be obviously your way in. So you would go with Rex as you enter this dusty, like moldy room. You smell like the age of the air in there, and it's very stale. There are cobwebs everywhere. There's literally a thick line of dust on everything as you look down. And what you see is immediately a sort of sparse-ish room. There's some old furniture off to your right. To your left is a door leading into what has to be the ticket booth, just by your orientation from where you entered the building. And beyond that, towards the opposite end of the building that you just entered, or the door you just entered, is another door and another room. The door directly in front of you seems to open deeper into the building. The door to the right of that is actually kind of on a little bit of an outcrop. It seems to open into another smaller room in this area. So you have 3 doors you can choose from. There's also, like I said, like dusty old furniture. There are posters on the wall left there of like various race car or racing ads and stuff like that. This seems to be a little bit at a glance like maybe an old break room or a lounge for employees, with the ticket room right there, and then maybe some other stuff down towards the back.
As I walk in, I'd click on my flashlight. And then I'd go look at those ads. Is the car we're looking for in any of the ads?
Okay. I'm not even going to make you roll for that because it's like pretty obvious is what you're doing right now. As you're looking through it, you're seeing all of these different like sponsors from these different car companies trying to sell their race car, Come see the flash red hot rod. Come see this, come see that. And then as you glance through these thick dust-covered glass poster cases, you finally do come to the last one, the Silver Speed.
Right, we're in the correct place.
What the fuck?
What?
It's not you.
Oh.
I just changed positions on the screen randomly.
Yeah, it just randomly decided to change your position on the screen, which is driving me nuts. It doesn't do that. Why is it suddenly doing that? Oh my god. So everybody out there watching, I'm sorry about the moving heads that you're seeing now, as I once again
they wait 3 months for another one of these things.
Just blame Neil.
He forgot his character sheet.
He definitely forgot his character sheet.
The character sheet isn't weighing down his like picture, so it's just moving around.
That's what it is, yeah.
All right, keep playing, guys. I can do this while you're playing.
I'm gonna go to the door that I'm so white again. I'm gonna go to the door that looks like it goes in further in the building, and I'll open that one.
Okay. So you go back to that one. You start to jiggle the handle, and it is locked. Before we move on to what you do with that, Bonnie, was there anything you wanted to do real quick in this room? Did you want to break into that room?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to at least try.
Bonnie, you head over to the ticket room. And as you approach it, it's a small red door. You place a hand on it, and it just sort of slowly creaks open. Spider webs trailing across the door frame as it swings inward. You look across the room, and it's obviously a ticket booth. There's going to be a cash register spot that's empty. a little desk where the people selling tickets would have sat, off to the back, directly behind where they would have sat, away from the windows. There are file cabinets and the like back there.
Perfect. I make a beeline for the filing cabinets.
Okay. And you guys, as wasn't already obvious through someone's deductive skills, are in an investigation zone. And you are approaching a clue. So you walk towards these filing cabinets. They are dust covered. They're gross. But there's something sort of like that familiar about this. There's something that reminds you of your roots, living in a library, working in a library. You're like, oh, the Dewey Decimal System. I don't even know if that would work for this, but it's a filing system. I can do this. So you walk up to these filing cabinets, and let's see, and it would be this one. You can do this. Clue requires mythos, and let's see, knowledge and merchant.
Well, I only have knowledge out of all of those.
Okay.
Let's see. Well, I rolled a 10.
Okay, a 10. So with just a 10, you gain sort of a minor insight as you're going through this paperwork, trying to uncover some kind of clue. This minor insight reveals to you that you start to see records and notes of various like events that have happened over the years. This is kind of a small raceway, and this filing system is like a big part of basically like everything that they would have kept records on. You see big chunks missing out of the files, but you start to notice that some of the things that are missing are explanations or detailed descriptions of various accidents that had happened at this location over the years. Sort of kind of like that log of disasters that would happen in various like facilities. You have to keep a little bit of a logbook on that. But some of those files are just gone or missing. And as you go through them, you start to realize this had been kind of centered around just a couple of specific mechanics, or one mechanic specifically, who just seemed to not be particularly lucky with the cars that he would be working on. And it is Michael Walker. And before we jump back over to Rex, I'd like to give Elliot a shot at getting into the garage.
So, do I have to human key anything?
So you walk around the back of the building, you see several bay doors of garage, roll-up garage doors. They're all shut tight. You go up to them, I presume, and see if you can't roll them up.
Yeah, I would say probably one by one I would go to them.
Okay. One by one, you go to them, and they are locked down one way or the other until you get to maybe the second to the last one. You feel that one, and like you pull, it gives a little bit. You pull a little bit harder, and so you hear something pop, and it rolls up for you. I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. This place is old, and you realize very quickly that it is a rusty old gate that you had just like basically opened off the merits of its age. You walk inside and you see it's very clearly a mechanic shop. It's a little bit different than, like a typical mechanic shop, as it is focused on gearing up vehicles as opposed to diagnosing and working on vehicles. It has all the same stuff that a normal mechanic shop has, but like it has bays and stuff like that, but it's very much looking like, this is a little bit more of an industrial sort of setting than what you as a mechanic would necessarily be used to. And that's what you see at a glance as you look around.
So everything, I'm trying to think of what the best thing would be to look at that would make sense. So I mean, the tools
awareness check if you want to take a deeper look.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Good unfortunate thing is I don't have that. I guess I only have perception. It gives me a grand total of 8.
8. Okay. So just depending on what you would have rolled, I would have given you various amounts of information. An 8 is below 10, above 5. So there's that. But I would say with that, you're kind of getting a sense of the place. This place has been abandoned for a while, and nobody, a lot of tools have been taken out of here. Obviously mechanics love their tools. That's their livelihood. As you look across it, though, you notice that there's one toolbox that doesn't really seem to have been messed with that much. That's pretty much what you get with an 8.
Okay. Before I investigate that, well, an 8 probably wouldn't really get me that information. I was going to see if there's anything that I see that's out of the ordinary, but yeah, probably just go straight for the tool chest.
Okay, so you head over to the last bay, pretty close to where you were just at. This bay, as in this is where the car would have been worked at. There's a lift station there, a tool station there. And the toolbox is the only one that's really fully still there and isn't open and obviously empty, like some guy just walked through and got his tools and left. You walk up to it, I assume you kind of open it, and you do see that there's a lot of tools still, at a glance, still in there. This workstation looks like it was just abandoned. When everybody else came and this place closed down and they came for their tools, this guy did not. He did not show up for work. You are also looking at a clue, this area.
I was going to say, is there a name on it?
At a glance, go ahead. For that one, go ahead and just, I guess you don't have awareness, so just a perception check.
Nominal improvement. That is going to be a 9.
A 9.
The problem is I'm not looking with my fists.
Search, boom! Search, boom!
If you're, but you are looking for a name. It's not. That's going to be a 5. You're not looking for a deep, a trace amount of DNA.
Secret.
Yeah. If there's gonna, and there is a name, M. Walker, and N. Walker seem to be initials marked on various items in this tool chest, including the tool chest itself. As you look it up and down.
One last thing to look for, just in case, on a whim. Do there happen to be any keys anywhere on that toolbox or in that tool area, specifically there?
Well, has he rolled for his clue yet?
He has not yet.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to say at this point, this is a clue. This area is a clue. So just so you know, the clue that you could roll, and as a reminder of how these clues work, is when you have a clue in an investigation site, I'll give you various potential skills that can be used to glean information specific for that clue. Depending on how well you roll, instead of having a difficulty, depending on how well you roll, you will get a certain amount of information. From a 6 to a 10, it's a very minor insight, like what Bonnie had. If you have a 11 to a 15, you get an insight and a question, and a 16 to a 20, a very detailed insight and 2 questions. And that's what you're looking at, like for the clues sites.
Okay.
And now I also have to tell you what the various skills are available here, and we are looking at occult, empathy, and mythos. And
that's unfortunate. That's very, very, very unfortunate. The most unfortunate.
There are 3 clues on investigation sites, as a reminder also. So Bonnie had found one, you had located another, and there will be another one at this investigation site, which is the raceway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do I even roll anything? Because I don't know. And so, what would I then roll aside from the skill that we were talking about?
Whatever the highest stat is in whichever area.
You also don't have to roll. You could realize you're over your head here.
Oh, yeah, probably that one, because I know well enough that I am not built to glean the answers that are needed in this area. But I take it more of a, well, I opened another door so the smart people can come in here and figure that out. Outside of that, I don't know if there's anything else in particular that I would say to look for, that I would want to look for.
What were the 3 skills needed for that clue? Mythos, empathy, and what?
Occult.
I'm useless as well.
Oh boy.
Actually, so while Elliot contemplates his range of skills in this situation, why don't we jump back over? Preston, you're outside. These folks walked off. What are you? You're standing there. Off to your left is the raceway. The building they just entered is kind of to your right and ahead of you. The sun is getting a little bit closer to the horizon. What do you do?
He is going to pull some... I can't remember if it was decided. Did I have liquor in the back of the limo or no? I thought I did.
Yes.
I believe yes.
Can
right?
confirm.
I'm going to kind of break one of my oaths here and pour just a finger of liquor into a rocks glass, and then sit on the trunk and watch the sunset. And try not to think about the overwhelming temptation to summon a demon car and have him fix my problems. That's where he is right now.
Okay. You're watching the sunset. The chauffeur comes back to you and says, "Sir, it's been kind of a pretty heavy day. You know, there's been, well, gosh, a heck of a lot that's gone on here. Would you mind if I had a little something to mellow my nerves?" You look over at this guy, and he's a young fellow, maybe 20, maybe at most.
It's the 50s, right?
It's the 50s. Yeah.
If you couldn't drive drunk, I wouldn't have hired you. Go ahead. Get yourself a finger. And then I'm going to actually give him like a $20 bill. Like, not enough to drop my resources, but just like an extra tip. Because he has been through the ringer today. I am sorry, my good man. It has been quite a strange day for you, I am sure. Not one you are liable to forget. Although, hopefully this 20 helps you do just that.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, sir. It's just, it's been, it's been something. It's been something.
It has indeed been something. Something. Indeed. You don't by chance have any cocaine on you, do you? No, forget I ask. That would be too far. That would be too
Just
far.
like, sir, you've explicitly told us to stop carrying it.
No, my mother did. And I want the Koki. I want Koki for my nosy. He goes,
And
no,
you watch
never mind.
the sunset with like the thoughts of cocaine dancing through your head.
Yeah, he just watches the sunset. He's kind of thinking about like what this car could actually do for him, and trying really hard to remember his new friends and not be a selfish dick, basically.
Okay.
So that's what he's doing. Internal temptation fight.
One last thing this guy's gonna say before we go over to Rex. He's gonna look up to you and say, "Sir, this is gonna sound crazy, but I know things got out of hand there, and I saw. Okay, this is gonna sound crazy. Don't get me wrong here. I'm not crazy, but like, it seemed like that dynamite Mr. Craig had. Well, it seemed like it just wouldn't stick. Like it had jumping beans in it or something. It just that was. Am I being? Did I see things crazy? Am I?
I'm gonna look at him for a real long time, just kind of like eyeing him, trying to figure something out, and then I'm going to pull a card out of my my coat, which is not my card. It is Charles Wheaton is our editor,
Excellent.
right? Yeah. And I'm gonna be like, my friend. You're going to explain all of this away in your head as something normal that happened, some sort of free accident, and you're going to be able to get on with your life. However, on the very small chance that you can't, and you wake up tomorrow realizing that a car did in fact throw a stick of dynamite at us, and you don't have an explanation for that, I'm going to hand him the card. Call this number.
He's going to take the card from you. His hand trembles slightly as he does. He looks up at you. Sort of a question, confused look. Thank you, sir.
Don't thank me. When he drinks that, I go, don't thank me. Really, you need to pray that tomorrow you wake up and you don't think a car threw a stick of dynamite at anybody. Because this is not a life you want to be a part of.
And with
doing that thing.
We'll jump back to Rex. Hand on the door knob. Seems to be locked, leading deeper into this building.
I'm about to break up their nice sweet moment outside. I'm just going to pull out my revolver, and I'm going to put it up to the door handle and just shoot where the lock would go into, like, the thing on the wall to kind of sever that so the door just kind of freely swings open.
Okay, point blank shot at a door and a wall. I'm not even going to make you roll attack for that. That just seems like... why, and this isn't like Fort Knox here. It's a locked office door. The thing shatters the door frame. The door swings open loudly. Jesus. I guess actually, you know what? I'm gonna have Bonnie and Elliot both roll a resolve. What would it be? Resolve. Endurance check?
Yeah,
or,
it's resolve endurance. Yeah.
Resolve endurance check, because this is like, all of a sudden, boom.
Am I rolling this too?
Yeah, I think you two should roll this.
I would like to argue that...
What is the difficulty?
Elliot has been...
I'm going to say, like, for Preston, who's a good chunk of the distance away, the difficulty will be 10. He's not in the building, but for the two people that are like, in the building and searching through a dusty, kind of creepy haunted building.
Is this like a poop ourselves check? Is that what you're having us roll here?
Yeah, pretty much.
I would like to argue.
I don't want to poop myself. Like, that's not like literally poop ourselves, or
no. Okay, so
I was like, whoa. Explain how deep this rabbit hole is, Wiz. Explain quickly.
So, I hope you guys packed underwear in your inventory list.
Yeah, right. Am I rolling to not shit myself? Am I saving versus shit myself?
This isn't going to cause you a madness point. but it may like impair certain like perceptions that you have from the GM's perspective. I'll have different ideas as to what you'll be able to get away with seeing, depending on how razzled your nerves are from hearing this gunshot in this very creepy location.
I passed by 1.
Okay.
So I was not expecting that.
You were not expecting that. You were surprised, but you're not like, your underwear's okay.
So
All right,
what's our difficulty?
15.
Fuck. I failed.
So I would like to argue that because Elliot has been so on edge because of everything, that it's just an auto fail.
He's already got Dookie in his drawers. Already.
All right.
He's pre-Dookie them
right.
drawers.
I'll say that those two both fail. There's a little Dookie. Please write that down on your inventory sheet.
Dookie?
One poop.
One poop.
Poop.
One pair of soiled underwear.
Consumable resource.
We
Make
figured
sure
out
you
what the
hang on
weakness
to
is to the
You know,
car.
honestly, if you had
Iconography and shitty drawers.
If you had poop, there's a couple things I could think of to use it for.
We can either throw crosses at the car or we can use mud butt.
I will let my players decide how they would like to be ingenious with the effects of this fear. But from my standpoint, the shadows grow a little darker, the echo rattles your nerves, and things become a little like...
We are all alone. I just realized that. All 4 of us. We did like the cardinal sin of a horror movie is we just went in 4 different directions
Bonnie
immediately.
books it out at the ticket booth trying to find somebody.
I'm never alone. I have my birds.
You also just scared the shit out of everybody.
Yes, I did.
To isolate that and make it your ringtone. when
Can you
when I hear
explain to
from you,
me,
I'm never alone. I have
What
my
did-
birds.
what did his driver do?
Oh, yeah. Like
He actually shit
literally
himself.
just rolled that, and he got a natural 1.
Oh,
He is like panicking right now. And I mean, if Hewitt wants to roll a perception awareness to try to figure out what's going on with the man's pants, he may. But this guy is sweating bullets. He jumps off the back of the seat, the trunk of the car, looks around, starts to freak out. His hands are visibly shaking. He is freaking out.
Calm down,
Bonnie,
my man.
Bonnie, you run out of the office. Elliot, you're in this garage all by yourself. You're seeing like the Walker name in here. You realize you've just stumbled into something resonant with the supernatural, a clue in this investigation site. Then you hear this bam. What do you do?
I believe that I would immediately run towards the gunshot because I'm expecting like some shit to happen at any given point in time, and I am cocked, locked, and ready to go, thinking that that's what's happening right now.
All right, you're storming down that
Storming.
direction. Rex, you've just
We can't
swung
let
this-
Corey be alone anymore. Okay, because the last
I
time
don't have. Listen,
the
I
last
didn't
time
have
he
my
was
human
alone,
key.
he almost
I didn't
talked
have
a
my
storekeeper
human key.
into having the police come and get him when he was buying dynamite. Now he's just making everybody shit himself. Like he needs a buddy. We need a buddy system for Corey from here on out.
I'm about to have 2 buddies, so it's fine.
Okay. So, on that note, the door swings open. Corey,
Rex.
Rex.
You look into a dark room, but directly before you, just a few feet into this room, as the door swings in, you see a young woman standing there. Her eyes are wide.
oh no.
Her hair
Flashlight's
is
gonna be in one hand, the revolver's in the other, kind of like the cop thing.
I love the cop thing. Cop
How
thing's
old
so
is
good.
the woman?
young.
We talking
Um,
teens?
Late teens,
All right,
maybe 20
my-
on the outside.
my
Bonnie.
father instincts kicked in,
Yeah.
and I will now walk over to her and be
Rex
like,
is a
"Are you
daddy."
okay?" And kind of like just checking on her, seeing if I can get a response.
Okay.
The flashlight will be pointed at her, but not in her face, because I don't want to be too abrasive with the light.
The girl.
Good role playing. Good role playing.
Yeah.
He could have just started shooting. Completely against his character.
I have a daughter. Her name is Anne.
I know. It's good role
I have
playing.
it written down.
I am not lying when I said that. I'm not being sarcastic. It was good role playing.
That is good. And I appreciate that quite a bit. This girl.
I know you do.
This girl looks up at you. Her eyes are like saucers. They're blue. She has blonde hair tied into like a 1950s pigtail. She's really pretty. Cute girl. She looks. A teardrop falls from one of her eyes as she stares up at you. Her mouth opens, and instead of saying anything, you just hear a car horn screeching at you.
Nah.
I think I'm gonna take a step back from that.
Bonnie,
Do you have a lozenge?
yeah, actually, I'm gonna say go ahead and take a madness point at
I
this
believe
time.
she needs a Ricola.
Yeah.
Dude, I wish I was a soundboard and just could like open my mouth and beep at people.
That's what I need.
I was gonna say it'd save us from getting your horn fixed.
Bonnie, you come running out of the ticket office. Dusty room right there. To your right is the exit of this building. To your left is deeper into the building where Rex was headed.
Excellent.
Oh
Fabulous. Perfect.
God!
Dude, that scared the crap out of Kayla. That absolutely like scared the crap out of Kayla. I watched that happen on the screen.
You almost perfectly matched that up with a trumpet in the jazz song that's playing right now through
That's
my headset.
weird. Kayla was like, "Oh my god, the car! It's here! It's here! It's come for me!"
Actually, yeah, like Kayla, was that like did it bring you into the game there for a second? you just get it's a little too close to home.
I was not expecting that at
Her response
all.
is, "Fuck all of you."
All right, so Bonnie, you come out. What do you do? You just run out there. What do you do?
So my first instinct is to leave the fucking building, but I know that 2 of my teammates are also in this building, so I shakily reach into my little side satchel and grasp the pistol that I have and nervously head towards where I know Rex was.
All right, so you run out of the door. You start running towards the exit of this building. You hesitate for a moment. You pause. You look over your shoulder. You reach into your bag. You turn. You start heading back towards into the building again. Directly in front of you
Very
is the door.
slowly, because I'm terrified.
Very slowly, trembling, with this gunshot that just went off. You look down at the door that it's directly in front of you. The door that was just shot open. You saw it as soon as you entered, and you see Rex there stepping inside and shining his flashlight around. And do you approach?
Does she see the girl? Do you see the girl?
Not.
Uh-oh.
She does not see the girl at glance. Rex is kind of like in the doorway. He doesn't see she doesn't see him quite away. Rex, like you see Rex going in. You see the girl now after a moment. You get a little bit closer, and as you approach, slowly seeing what's happening, the door that Rex had just shot open slams shut.
In my face, so he's in the room?
He's in the room. The door just shut behind him.
Yeah, I'm gonna need them.
Is there anything you want to do at the moment?
I shout his name and like try to push the door open.
Okay. Give me a. This is actually going to be an opposed force. I guess. What would it be? Like athletics check or a force? Well, don't think you actually have anything that would work as far as a skill for
Wait,
this.
Very weak.
what is she trying to do?
She's trying to push open the door against an entity pushing it shut.
That would be build. That'd be force build.
Okay. Force build.
Well,
It's just a straight strength.
all right. Oh, that's a nat one.
Oh. Wait, hold
yeah,
up.
that door-
Hold up. What's the difficulty?
So it's going to be opposed.
Oh. I'm not gonna.
Very
okay.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate.
Can't do anything to
Yeah.
help you on that one.
And so yeah, like you're
Entity
pushing
wins.
against it. And the entity, there's a force pushing back against this door. It's just not moving. Jumping over to Elliot. You're running into the room, deeper into the building. You're running across this garage bay towards a door at the end of the garage bay. It's dark in there. You only opened one bay door. There's no lights. There's no electricity. It's dusty, cloudy. The cobwebs are getting all in your face as you're running through there. You reach the other end of the door, which is the general direction that the gunshot was heard from. Pull on it, and it actually does swing wide open. It's not even a locking door, just given that this was the inside of a shop, that didn't need to be locked. The outside doors needed to be locked. So you go inside, or you open the door, and what you see on the inside is essentially like a long, dark hall. And all the way down at the other end of the hall, you see a flashlight shining around.
I believe that I would probably yell down to them, to at least to the light, making an assumption that is Rex.
Okay. You yell down at them, and the light suddenly stops. And it grows brighter a little bit, and then a little brighter, and a little brighter, and then sort of splits into two.
Okay.
When I realized we were going to be fighting a car, this was not the encounters I was expecting.
No, definitely not.
Dimensions.
Though I technically still don't know what the fuck is going on. Do I hear anything, or is it just light?
You are starting to hear the rumbling of an engine.
There it
Okay,
is.
I would
He's coming for you.
make that assumption then. So here's actually what I'm gonna do. How wide's this hallway?
Not wide enough for a car. This is weird looking.
Yeah, for sure. But like, generally speaking,
it's probably like about 5 feet.
5 feet.
Yeah.
I'm kind of putting 2 and 2 together, even though it wouldn't make sense for the car to be in the hallway. But making an assumption that I'm seeing 2 headlights and the sound of an engine coming towards me, I would like to take my belt off. And
I love that his belt is his weapon, because he says stuff like that, and I'm like,
I would
this
like
is about
to take my
get
belt
sexy.
and attempt to
Seduce.
Yeah. Roll for seduction. I would lay it down in a straight line across.
Yeah, you will.
Across the hallway, thinking that if this is the car flying down the hallway, it would hit the chain and get tangled up in the tires.
Okay. All right. I'm not even gonna make you roll, I guess. for that. It's kind of like setting a trap.
Yeah, ish.
Victos Dominos.
So okay, yeah, you lay it down. I'm gonna do something a little interesting here, actually. Like, I had a couple of ideas as to what was gonna happen, anyways. So, so you do so. You lay it down. The revving is getting louder. The headlights are getting closer. The room, like the hall, is getting darker and darker, but the lights are getting closer and closer. Like, something is so twisted about what you're looking at here. But you've laid it down. What do you do at the moment? Are you trying to?
I would also probably look to see if there is some sort of alcove sort of situation in the hallway or door that I could tuck into, because I've laid my thing down assuming that it's going to run it over, thinking that that is what's happening. I would probably have to have some sort of escape plan, if that is my assumption, to not just get nailed head on, if that's my line of thinking. What if, is there any like pipes or anything above me?
I can't breathe. It just keeps going and going and going. It's all I hear now is him preparing to fuck this car. That's all I hear in my head at this point. Just gonna lay it down. Gotta get in the hallway so I can nail it head on.
Oh, God. All right, and now that's all I hear. He's looking for a pipe above him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Look,
Like, every sentence he said was like, yeah.
There's no pipes above your head.
Okay. Okay.
It's a good place to be in. Good place to be in.
But you're like just at the door frame. Like, this door is in the wall. If you there's not like an alcove. It's a narrow hallway.
Okay.
You're not in the hall. Like, you could just step to the side.
Oh, I'm just in a doorway still.
Yeah.
I thought it was like in the hallway. Okay. Yeah.
Punch it.
Yeah, just punch it. That's my go-to for everything. I think I would. I mean, I can't brace myself for being hit by a car.
John Wick survived it. Why not you?
It's fair.
Mechanic punch.
That's to remain loose.
No. I mean, honestly, because my main goal is still to just go to where the sound happened, but this thing is in my way, so I'm kind of in a confliction. Me as a player and me as the character are both kind of froze up right now. So I don't know. Maybe that's all I actually do is lay the chain down and freeze.
Good role playing. Good role playing.
Okay, so you lay the chain down. You freeze like a deer in the headlights as this.
Quite literally.
Quite literally. As this very sexy machine starts driving towards you. Preston.
Yes.
You're a gunshot. This little guy next to you, your chauffeur, is like freaking out. What do you do?
I just look at him and go, steal yourself, man. It's all over there. And I'm sure it's just the detective doing some target practice. Nothing to be worried about. And I'm going to try and use my charisma manipulation to just get him to calm down.
Yeah.
What's the difficulty?
The difficulty is going to actually be 15. This guy looks like he's shitting. Like if you did a perception check, there's a good
There's
chance.
been so much
Jesus.
paint
Yes,
shitting this
poop.
episode.
I am going to...
All caused by the same one event.
spend my last luck point to reroll that. Okay, I'll hit it by 1, 16.
16. Okay. Okay. All right, sir. All right. Yeah. Everything's okay, sir. We're good. So it's just your friend. He likes guns. Lots of people likes guns.
He does.
My dad likes guns.
It's the 50s. Everybody likes guns. We're American. Go ahead and get into the car. Just relax. Shut the door. Lock the doors. It'll make you feel better. Keep sipping
may
on
I
that drink. All right?
Yes, sir. And he gets back into the car.
I'm going to go check on him, make sure he hasn't shot himself. I'll be right back. And then I start to head towards the speedway because gunshots was not something we planned for.
Okay, so you start heading up the walkway, heading towards the speedway.
Mm-hmm.
You start heading back. How much did you actually see of them actually where they went? When did you sort of hang back before they even really like?
I hung back. He opened the fence and I was just like, "You guys got this," and hung back. Mainly because I'm very like Preston's starting to get very nervous about the temptation of this demonic thing, so he didn't want to be in there and potentially learn how to summon it, because then he might just summon it.
Okay. As you approach the speedway, then you see the derelict building, you see the speedway, and
do I have an idea of which way the gunshot came from?
I'm going to use a if I remember how to do this correctly. It's been a while since I've played.
What are you trying to use?
The darkness points.
Oh, the darkness points. Great. That's awesome. That's not going to be a problem at all for me. What page?
The car's going to show up and try to make
darkness points are on page 37 of 88.
Right.
And you should have plenty of darkness points, from what I remember.
Yes, I do.
Why do you got to remind him of that?
I said that in a very creepy way that I didn't mean to.
I think I'm looking at an older version of the game. So I don't think I have the right ones here. Because I'm pretty sure you can do more than this.
It's 2.5, I believe.
Oh, it's 2.5. Not 3?
No, that was what screwed us up last game. It was I was trying to do edits and drafts got wonky.
I see, said the blind man.
Okay, so you're walking up the path here, and looking ahead, you're trying to determine which direction they would have gone in. When you do so, you actually hear a noise to your left. It sounds like maybe a tool dropping or something along those lines. Something like innocuous. And
I'm just on the path walking towards the building?
Towards the raceway, towards the raceway. And to the left is actually the raceway itself. To the right and in front of you is the building. So to the left, towards the raceway, you actually hear a noise sort of like click or drop.
Is that where I heard the gunshot from?
You would have kind of just heard the gunshot from this general direction. So you started at the bottom of this driveway leading up,
and now I'm here. All right, I'm gonna pull
you can roll a perception check to try and a awareness perception.
Okay. The first thing he does is pull his gun once he's out of eye shot of the driver, just so that he has it at ready.
Okay.
And you wanted a perception awareness check?
Yeah, if you're trying to figure out which direction the shot came from.
Which Preston has no fucking awareness, so...
You
all know.
Down the way, staring at the sunset, talking to a little driver when this popped off. Like, it'd be a little... The difficulty will be, I'd say, 10. Gunshots are loud.
I got it by 1. 11.
Okay. So you would have generally gleaned the direction as being more from the building.
Okay.
And you did just hear a sound to your left.
I just really quickly look to the left. Are we still in sunset? So there's still some light?
Yeah.
What do I see to the left of me?
You see the raceway, the circuit itself, bleachers, but you also see maybe a dugout for the pit crew, and that kind of stuff that would be set up for a raceway like this.
I just kind of lowly call out, Elliot, Rex, Bonnie.
You hear a voice shout, sort of whisper back, not whisper, but speak back to you. Hello? It's not your friends. It's a woman's voice.
Yes. Hello. Where are you? I can't see you.
Over here. By the cars, where we work on the cars.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Seems to be coming from the
Um,
dugout.
he starts to move towards the voice. How did you get out here? Who are you?
Me? I'm Mary.
Mary.
I kind of used to work here.
You used to work here. What are you doing here now? It's closed up and it's almost nighttime.
So are you walking towards
Yeah,
the
I'm
raceway?
walking towards the voice while I'm
Okay.
talking to it.
As you
Doing
approach-
everything I should not be doing from as a horror viewer watcher, but it's what Preston would do.
It's the voice is very clearly coming from this sunken area, the pit crew area where they would have all of this stuff. It's down below the ground, so the voice seems to be coming from out of sight. And she says, "Oh, I could never leave this place behind."
I don't. He's not stupid. He's got an intelligence of 3. He's gonna kind of stop in his tracks at this point. He hasn't seen the car summon people or apprehensions or apparitions, but he has seen it possess a woman. So maybe it has some sort of ability like that. And I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna go. Am I speaking to Mary? Am I speaking to something else?
From behind you, you hear the voice say, "I used to be named Mary." You turn around.
Yeah, spin around. I spin the fuck around.
And you see a woman there for just a second. A beautiful brunette woman, tall, thin, in racing gear, like she's a race car driver, looking at you right before she bursts into flames.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh, good God!
You definitely take
Sweet
that
baby
point.
Jesus! He's not quite sure what to do because she's on fire. She's not necessarily like, he doesn't know she's a demon. Like, does it look like she's just burst into flames, right?
Just burst into flames.
He's gonna look right at her and be like, "Stop! Drop! Roll! Roll!"
God, I hope you're never in an emergency situation.
He's gonna take his. I would know better, asshole. Preston. He's gonna take his coat off and try and kind of dive on her to help put out the flames.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you approach her like with your coat.
He would drop his gun to do this, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because he would panic. He would see her on fire. He'd be like, "Oh my God, stop, drop, and roll!" And he would drop the gun, pull his coat off, his sport coat off, whip it in front of him, and go to like dive on her to try and pat out the flames.
All right, let me see how I'm gonna play this. I did not see you. You guys roll me with so many curveballs. I figured everybody would have just like ran away.
I'm not happy with anything I'm doing right now as a player.
I can't run away. I'm locked in a room.
Let's see, and okay, so you run up to her. You're trying to pat her down. Like she's just standing there, like burning on flames, like just a few feet away from you. So it's not like you're gonna have to do like a skill check or anything to accomplish this.
Okay.
You swing at her.
I'm trying to tackle her because that's what you do.
tackle her.
You like tackle her with the coat and then try and pad the flames out. Is what you do.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
suffocate the fire. Put
when
her
you
to the
jump-
ground and then be on top of her so that the fire kind of is smothered. Yeah, I know, Kayla. I know.
when you jump at her,
Fair is
this
fair.
burning,
folks.
this burning like pillar of a like in a vaguely woman shape. When you jump at her, your coat wraps around her for a second, like, but you feel nothing, and suddenly she's not there. You fall to the ground with nothing in your hands, nothing in your coat. Go ahead and take a madness point.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll definitely do it. Make a lot of sense. Make a lot of sense.
All right, Rex, we're back over to you.
Yay.
So this little girl is this 19-something-year-old beautiful young woman is staring up at you with an unholy noise echoing out of her unnatural like car horn echoing out of her voice. The door suddenly slams behind you. The only light in this room comes from your flashlight. What do you do?
Is she actively trying to attack me?
Not at this moment. You did take a madness point for this, right?
I did. Yeah, you gave it as soon as she screamed. I'm gonna back up to the door and just try and like hold the flashlight in my mouth and like open the door with one hand, pointing the gun at her still.
Okay.
Because all
So many ways this ends poorly.
all patrinal feelings are gone because she is no longer a person.
Patrinal.
Paternal? Patrinal? Is patrinal the right word?
Paternal.
What's patrinal? Why have I
Patrinal
heard
sounds
paternal
like
before?
a place where Patrick people pee. Like a urinal, but a patrinal. That's what it sounded like to me.
Like a latrine / just for Patrick's.
Just for Patrick.
Patrinal is a word.
Patrinal is where.
Is it a gland? First thing that popped in my head was that it was a gland.
It is related to the relationship with your father.
Oh.
Or is that? Oh, it's
That's still paternal.
yeah, no,
That's paternal, you jackass.
no patrinal. Patrillineal or AL.
It's paternal.
No,
No, he spelled
paternal,
something else. What was that again?
Well, we do not have time for this.
Yeah.
This is going to be like fucking 20 minutes. We do not have time to argue paternal versus patrinal.
There it is.
We do not
Patrinal,
have
it's a
time.
word.
No, I see what he's talking about. Yeah, I just found it
Thank
up.
you.
Just
So-
I
looked it up,
graduated
yeah.
high school.
The paternal,
Patrinality.
like impulse flies out the window as you back up against this wall. The flashlight there. This girl stares at you and starts running towards you.
Ew.
The door behind you. If you're trying to open it, go ahead and give me. You say you're trying to open it, right? Like,
I would until she starts trying to run at me.
So, but that okay. So what do you do then? Like you were trying to open it for a second, and then like she's charging at you.
So I would shoot her in the leg because I don't want to kill her, but I want to immobilize her.
I got a tire.
Go ahead.
I'm just not taking my belt off to do it.
and roll an attack roll.
That was what, force firearm or range?
Range and agility, I believe, for
Okay.
firearms.
I like that better, so we're doing that. That's a 20.
Okay. You pull up the gun, shoot at this girl. She like staggers and stops for a second.
My gun actually has stagger level 2
Okay.
and pierce level 2, if that matters.
So what happens is like you see like her touch her leg where the bullet like clearly like would have entered. There's no blood there. She raises her hand. She looks at you, smiles for a second, and then vanishes. The door behind you then swings open, and Bonnie has just pushed her way into your back as she's trying to open this door. The door just like swings open on her.
All right, well, I would immediately snap around because I don't know who's coming through the door.
Okay. Bonnie, you just stumble in there. What do you do? Like,
Well, I first scream and completely lose my footing and fall into Rex because I have no grace. And then I immediately just look up at him. I'm like, what's going on? What's happening?
I'm going to go ahead and say both of you guys roll an endurance resolve because you're in an extremely stressful situation with a lot of moving parts right now. So how like Bonnie rolls into you, what Rex is able to do.
What's the difficulty?
The difficulty is going to be, I'm going to say 15. This is a horrible 15 for Rex because he just faced down a ghost. I'd say 10 for Bonnie because she hasn't actually seen a supernatural entity at the moment.
I got a 9.
I got a 19.
Womp womp.
Wizard,
Okay,
you gain
Bonnie.
1 GM momentum for Corey's failure.
Okay. And Bonnie, you also get a momentum for beating it by over 5. Mark that down.
She got a 19.
And that's right. It wasn't
It's
over
only
5.
4.
You said her difficulty was
take
10.
away from us.
Hers was 10.
Never mind.
She hasn't seen the ghost. Or the creepy creature thing.
Whatever the fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Bonnie, you do stagger. You roll, Rex. There's a girl coming at you at full speed, and it like freaks you out. What do you do?
I've heard Bonnie scream before.
True.
Can I roll an intelligence awareness
To not shoot her in the face.
Oh God.
Yes. I will say like the difficulty for not shooting her in the face.
Just
is going to
take
be
this time to just for all of our audience out there. This is why we don't play with guns. This is why we don't play with guns.
gun safety, everyone.
Gun safety, everybody. Gun safety, everyone. Don't take guns into haunted houses. Rule number 1.
The difficulty for not shooting it in the face will be 5. However, like that doesn't mean a higher difficulties when it like necessary. Like if you don't beat a 10, like you're not going to be able to like necessarily like catch her or stop her or even like push her. You know,
I got a 14.
Okay, so you don't shoot her in the face. You pull your gun up at the last minute. She starts falling into you. You have enough time and resolve to be like, "Oh shit, I'm okay." That's the scream. I know that scream, and you grab the girl before she falls to the ground, knowing that it is in fact Bonnie.
I would just pick her up, set her back on her feet.
There you go. Okay, there you go. You pick up this little tiny wisp of a librarian girl and set her back up on her feet. You guys are staring around at each other. Elliot. The car is driving towards you. The headlights are getting louder. You're stuck in a car and a headlights kind of situation. Last moment, anything you want to do before, like you let's go ahead and say endurance resolve right now.
Yeah.
Difficulty is going to be 15.
I got just 15.
Okay. You come back to yourself with enough wherewithal at the last moment to be able to do one action positioning maneuver. If you want to jump out of the way, if you want to try something.
Jumping out of the way as best I can in this narrow hallway. I mean, I could try to do the thing where I jump over the car, but that could end horrendously. Yeah, it's just some sort of like jump out of the way, or maybe. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I can like hit the deck and like try to like lay down underneath, assuming that I'm gonna not get hit by the undercarriage of the vehicle.
You would know that there's no human that could fit underneath a.
Absolutely not. Okay, just jumping to the side, just trying to jump out of the way, just in case.
Okay. You jump to the side. Go ahead and roll a agility acrobatics check, but I don't think you have that, so probably just an agility check.
I actually do have acrobatics.
There you go. Agility acrobatics.
What's the
There's
difficulty?
something about Elliot doing a double half gainer that makes me Giggle.
It's weird, right? Like, I wouldn't expect him to...
Just him on an unparalleled bars, just like going to town.
Old school beast from the X-Men, just a big guy that can just like
Jump and clamber
sort
up
of like
things.
a gorilla, just grab things and pull himself out of the way. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna be a difficulty of 10.
15.
15, all right.
Take a
go
momentum.
ahead and take momentum.
Now I think I'm at my max.
And okay. Perfect, good. Car, like you jump out of the way, you jump kind of out of the door, you sort of fall to the side, but you roll. You hear like a swoosh, and like the car horn sort of like blares in your ear for a second, like it just passed through, but you don't see anything, and it just sort of slowly, not slowly, but quickly fades, like just a vanish, like a whisper, just gone in the wind.
What happened with the chain?
You hear as it goes by, "Be seeing you soon, buddy." Like a woman's voice calling to you. You look over, the chain's still there. It doesn't seem
hate
affected. I'd say like go ahead and roll an endurance resolve check one more time to see if you take a madness point. I already gave you one for this, but like something's talking to you now. It's calling for you, calling you out.
That's a third 15 in a row.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you. You're able to resist, but it's spooky. It is spooky.
It's so spooky.
And so you guys are now all situated in various locations. You've encountered something very horrifying, but you're still in an investigation zone, and I believe that this is probably a good place to end for the evening.
Perfect. Yay, we're back. Yay.
So, before we cut out of here for this evening, as always, I'd like to give you guys an opportunity to shout out anything if you'd like to shout anything out. Neil, do you got anything you want to shout out to this?
Yeah, outside of getting back into the swing of things with this, do the Horrible Gaming Podcast. Not every single week all the time now, just because of the changing of the schedules and whatnot. But if it's going to be there, I will be there. Unless I won't be there. That's just fair.
Which is solid plug there, man. Solid
plug. Solid plug. Sometimes I do this thing all the times.
Bonnie, is there anything you want to shout out of this?
No. I'm boring. I don't have anything going on.
The amazing Bonnie. Kayla does not shout out to this evening. Corey, is there anything you want to shout out?
No, I don't do anything else, so...
Okay, we got our two solid hardcore players that are just going to shout out the next episode when it comes around.
We'll get them in something else.
Zach, what do you got?
Check out everything Old Man Gaming has to offer. We do video game reviews. We also do TTRPG stuff, as you are seeing right now. We're enjoying that. Do Wizard's Respite with Wiz, though I'm sure he's going to plug that when he gets his turn. And then Corey and Kayla will both be in more stuff. Now that I'm starting to get a handle on my schedule, we'll get some more stuff out here. So, yeah, that's it for me.
Okay, and like Zach said, I'm talking about the Wizard's Respite. You can watch this episode there, all of our back episodes for this, and other shows that are TTRPG related that I've done with Zach. Ordo Scriptorium is only one of many. We have a lot of great projects that we're working on, and we're getting back in the swing of things. I know I'm getting back in the swing of things. 2025 has been a year so far.
Yeah.
I'm hoping things progress in a different direction, but until next time, everybody out there watching, listening, we're gonna roll out tonight. Heavy with the pun.